Good morning. Welcome to Thinking is Contagious. This morning last night actually, we heard the news of the passing of Justice Ginsburg, and our thoughts and prayers with her family and prayers for her soul uh, as she moves on. Uh, her soul moves on. Obviously, the big news this morning, or the topic of conversation, is the replacement of the judge. And Donald Trump, President Trump, uh, stating that he wants to fill the vacancy as soon as possible. Majority Leader McConnell saying that they'll bring it to the floor for a vote, and the Democrats, are in an uproar. The Republicans, try to push it through as well. Both sides have their agenda. There's no doubt about it. But here's a couple of points that I see. Number one, the excuse about the vetting, that how long it normally takes. Well, let's be aware that this is a president that's already replaced two justices. He's got a working list of viable candidates. Those candidates have gone through vetting already, not full vetting, but quite a bit of vetting. So that process has been expedited. It's a much shorter term process. Number two, is the Democrats are claiming that when Justice Scalia passed and Obama was in the last 10 months of his first administration, that, his second administration, that they should wait, President Obama, the Republicans were claiming President Obama should not be allowed to nominate. It should be after the election, and the new president should nominate the judge. At the time, I'll tell you what my position was, and anyone who knows me knows that this is my position. I thought President Obama had every right to nominate a judge. Now, I was buoyed by the fact that I knew that the Senate was controlled by the Republicans and that his nomination was probably going to be shot down in a vote. So I said, let him nominate, take it before the Senate, let him vote. The Senate will turn it down, and by that time we'll get a new president and we'll start the process all over again. Well, nothing's changed for me. I think that the president is the president, he has the right to fill the vacancy, do it. Now, the difference and the problem for the Democrats is that the Senate is narrowly controlled now by the Republicans, so they're going to need some defectors, and they probably will get them. Romney's going to defect. They'll probably get a few. But he has the right. The president has the right to nominate. Now, can everything be done, all the boxes checked off correctly, diligently, in a short period of time? That's to be seen. If it can, and it can be brought to a vote on the Senate floor, then I think that has to happen. That can happen. Because my personal opinion, and I've heard this said already a couple of times on a couple of the media outlets, and I agree with it. I think the real play here for the President Trump, would be to make his nomination and agree to wait till after the election. And this nomination, I believe, if this judge is going to only further the commitment of the right base, Trump's base, the right, the evangelicals, the right conservative base, and by right I mean the right side. I'm not saying that they're right or wrong, right. It's going to empower them, embolden them, further excite them, motivate them, bring them even more intensity to go to the polls, more intensity to have friends and family vote. It's going to incite a bigger participation. It's sort of, and I hate to use the analogy, it's the carrot and the stick. Let's get Trump's second term. We'll get this judge. And I think that's the way to handle it. And then you don't cause the need to have some Republican infighting um, 30, 45 days before an election. Divide the party a little bit when the party needs to be together, because you know that there's going to be some senators, Republican senators, up for re-election in November that are definitely not going to look at the president has the right to do this, and we as the Senate have to make the vote. They're going to look at it as, if I go out on this limb, is it going to cost me my spot at the feeding trough? So I think it's important that that option be considered. Now, on another side, and this shows you, I want to really point out the self-serving nature of Joe Biden and the left. I don't know if you recall, but in June of this year, he came out and said that they were formulating a list to replace to fill any potential Supreme Court vacancies during his presidency if he were to win, and that he was committing not committing, he said a list of, let's be fair, he said he had made a list of African American women to fill the vacancies. Again, like when he said, I am going to nominate a woman vice president. Later it morphed into a black woman, African American woman. All you're doing, what he did with the vice presidency, what he did with the Supreme Court, you don't need to say that, because you are hurting whoever you choose. You are focusing that they were not chosen among all options. They were chosen within a specific demographic. Okay? All you're doing is self-serving, is to make yourself look good. The objective is to say for people to say, Joe Biden is fair because he is going to nominate a black woman. Joe Biden, look how great he is. Look how nice he is. Uncle Joe, he's all concerned with equality and free. No. You don't have to say that. What you have to say is, we have a list of judges to fill the vacancies should there come one, and then you nominate your candidate. And if it's a woman, if it's a black woman, a white woman, if it's a black man, a white man, whatever it is, you take away the cloud of not being chosen the best among all. But what does it do by announcing it early? What your intention is? To make yourself look good at the cost of your candidate, at the cost of your nominee. Okay? That's Joe Biden. That's the left. That's who they are. Another point. Last night, New York Times writer, I don't even know who his name is, tweets out that basically there's going to be chaos if Trump even attempts to name a replacement. A tweet from Democratic, I don't know who it was, and this was reported on by Laura Ingraham on Fox News. So I didn't get the name, but she came out and said that there was a quote about, if a nominee is named, that we're going to burn this down. Why is it that we have this situation? When the terrible event occurred that the police officers were shot in Compton, where were the white supremacist protesters? Where were the riots and the anarchy on the street? There were none. When Barack Obama won the presidency twice, where were the protesters, the white supremacist protesters, the riots, the burning, the looting, the pillaging? There was none. And then I hear from my liberal friends that their fear is that when Trump loses, that there's going to be anarchy. Well, there's no proof that that will happen, because up till now, whenever the right has lost, that hasn't been the result. Now, when the left loses, there's burning, looting, and pillaging. So that's the hypocrisy of where all this stands. When you get now to a point that they've mainstreamed or attempted, they're in the process of attempting to mainstream a black national anthem in this country. And they kneel for the country's national anthem, but they stand for the black national anthem. How much more divisive can you get than that? When a family buying 100 acres in the woods in Georgia to create an enclave for black-only community, if a white group did that, it would be the Klan, the Klan, or the white supremacists. It would be racism at its height and finest, which it is. It definitely is. But if it's black, you're allowed to do it. If it's some type of, you're allowed to do it. It's what is going on here, people. The president has the right to name the judge. The Senate has the obligation to vote on the judge. I've already voiced my opinion. President Trump, nominate your judge and say, we're going to wait on the vote until after the election. You're going to win. You're going to control the Senate. You're going to give your senators a better shot of re-election. And all is going to be right with the world. Let's do this the right way. Let's do this the smart way. Let's do this the civil way. Because if we allow this to go to what the liberals want, this is not going to turn out well. So let's move forward. Let's persevere. Let's do things the way we've always done them. And let's get this thing done correctly. Remember, thinking is contagious. And this further exemplifies that the left is working diligently, feverishly on a vaccine to prevent the spread of thinking. Thanks, and have a good day.